Welcome to the Real Solar Podcast. I'm Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And here we keep it real. So today we're going to be talking about something exciting, presenting and closing the deal. That's probably by far my favorite part.
That's what the cleanup hitters do.
Mm-hmm.
They go close the deal, man.
Yeah, so
I like to think about it as opening. You know how we call it closing in sales, but really it's opening. If you think about it as I'm here to open a new relationship with this client, it's a lot different. There's less pressure knowing that you're going to open a new relationship than closing a deal. But you got to have a closer's mentality. So
100%. Well, I'll walk through my process and the way that I go about it, because I do it the same way every single time. And then I have my book of objections that everyone has no matter what. So I have them in my head. I've got, the 12, 13 objections that everybody has. So I always go straight to the kilowatts, the production. Like, this is what they're consuming. This is their production. This is what their solar looks like. I make sure that I explain the kilowatt hours and why people run into the situation of having two bills. So there's an objection, and I'm explaining why that happens to people. So I make sure they fully understand that. I ask them if they like the design on the house. I make sure that the address and everything is correct there. So I'm getting them to agree. I'm getting them to say yes. I'm getting them engaged. I'm asking them questions. And then right after that, I go straight into the pricing and explaining the tax credit. And it's funny because a lot of people, and I've listened to a lot of presentations, and their verbiage is like, well, if you don't pay this money, your price goes up. And I'm like, dude, why would you present it like that? Okay, yes, but there's a different way of setting it up.
So you guys want to buy today? Like an awkward ass.
Yeah. It's like, I take the tax credit and I put it in their hands. I ask them the right questions to make sure that they can take advantage of it. And if they can, I let them know, like, hey, check this out. So this is your payment, right? Let's say you decide to get that tax credit and put it in your pocket. Like, you keep it, which you can. It can be yours. You don't have a penalty or anything, but the price adjusts because this system is expecting, or it's pretending as if you already paid that down payment. And for the first 18 months, you're going to have this payment because it's giving you a gateway of time to pay that in. But if you decide to keep the money, no problem. Your price just adjusts. And then I go straight into asking for the objections. And what that does is really allows you to open the door to see what problems you're going to have to solve. Because something has kept them from going solar before. Something has kept them from pulling the trigger or reaching out to somebody. So once you can get to the pricing and their system size, the things that they want to know, like when you show up to the door, dude, they want to know how much they're going to be paying a month. Like, that's what's in their head. You could go over all of the details and everything, but they want to know how much.
Yeah, and people tell me they do a 3-hour presentation at the home. I'm like, that's crazy to me. I mean, that's cool if it's working for you, right? But it's just, it doesn't have to be a 3-hour presentation, right?
No, and especially if you're getting to the point, because they know why you're there. Yeah. They know why you're showing up. So getting straight into the point. So once I open the door, that's when they give me the objections. But this is really when you separate yourself as just a salesman into a consultant, because they're going to bring up 2 objections or 3, and you're going to take those objections and then you're going to solve them. Like, you know what? I always hear 2 bills. I'm thinking of selling my house in 3 years.
And here's the key for overcoming objections, guys. Look at it as venting. Let them vent. Don't interrupt them while they're giving. The worst thing you can do to a client is interrupt them while they're venting. And because they're like, well, I might want to sell my house here. Oh, don't worry about selling your house. We can do that. I know a realtor that can take care of that. But then the roof. Oh, we got a roofer. Dude, relax.
Yeah.
Let them vent.
Right.
So it needs to sound a little bit more like, I'm looking to sell my house in the near future. So I'm kind of like 50-50 about the solar. It's like, okay, I understand. So write it down, right? Be like, okay, so selling your house is a concern. Okay. What else? Well, the roof is kind of messed up. And if it's going to cost me a bunch of money to fix it right now, I'm not ready to do that. Okay. So I noticed the roof that has a few issues. Okay. Is there anything else that would stop you from pursuing your a situation where you can profit from solar? Is there anything else?
No.
And then outside of that, so basically, if selling your house or the roof wasn't a concern, hypothetically speaking, you'd be all over this, right? That's how to overcome objections. You don't argue over every objection, because then it becomes like a ping pong battle where it's like, you got an objection, I got an answer, you got you got and it just starts like developing almost a tension in the conversation. And you can see, because I've made that mistake, guys. It's not like I haven't made. The only reason I know that is because I've been that guy that tries to overcome every objection as it comes, and then I can see the client's frustration raise and raise and raise. Now they don't like me. Because who likes an asshole that can't even let someone vent?
Think about this. Like, let's say you were to change our language and someone is watching from the outside perspective, they're going to think we're arguing. They're going to think it's an argument.
Well, when people don't speak Spanish, anytime I speak with my mom, they think we're arguing. My little niece don't even talk to me anymore. She's afraid of me because she thought I was yelling at my mom when we're just having a normal conversation. It's like, it's tonality, it's language, it's posture. All those things come into play.
But that's key, listening, because that's a big problem that a lot of the sales industry has. They don't actively listen. They're not listening. They're trying to sell. They're trying to present and sell, and they're not taking the time to identify what's the problem here. Because you're a businessman. If you're in business, your profession is solving problems. Like, you're solving problems.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at a sell, we're looking at a transaction, we're looking at the presentation, you allow them to get those objections out. You listen. You ask that question. Other than this, is there anything else? Because now you're isolating that. You're getting them to tell you yes. And if they say yes, you know the real reason why they're not moving forward. If they say, well, you know what? Well, it's because my so-and-so, my wife, and this and that. Okay, I hear you. I wouldn't want to make a decision without making sure that's squared. I don't blame you. And keep digging from it. Be interested. What's going on? So if your wife absolutely loved it, and I'm obviously, considering these two factors that you mentioned here, then it's good to go. Then it's a no-brainer.
And consider this concept when you walk in the door. The PTI concept. So is your posture, your tonality, and the information. That's what you're walking in. It's you, your posture, your tonality, and the information. That's all you got.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, right? 50% of the deal is on the posture alone. That's where 50% of the deal either happens or doesn't. Because if people can see your confidence as you walk, as you stand, as you sit down, as you communicate with them, the posture, if your posture is right, then you're dominant. Yeah. And they trust you because your posture is the way it's supposed to. If you're slouching, if you're like this, if you're falling asleep, if you're whatever the hell, dude, I don't want to do business with somebody a half-ass, like, come on. Like, you better give me some good posture here to make me comfortable about what we're about to do. Then tonality, if you're soft about what you're saying, if you're like, well, I think, the 26 tax credit, I'm sure you'll be able to get it back on, and they're not, their tonality sucks. Like, they're not confident. They look away because why? Because they're not prepared. They're not prepared. So their tonality sucks. Their posture sucks.
Almost sounds like they're guessing.
And that's 90% of the deal. The information is only the last 10. Yeah. Because if your posture is on point, your tonality is on point, then selling the deal that's the easy part. Is the information that's left. But within that information is critical, because even you can mess it up with that. Yeah. You need to be good at all the PTIs, right? Posture, tonality, and information. And that's where the information, it's based on the preparation. Yeah. So if you prepared, you're going to go in with more confidence. You're going to have better tonality. You're going to have a better posture. Now you look like a guy I want to do business with, right?
You look well rehearsed. You look like you
Absolutely.
can show up to the movie and people are gonna believe what you're saying. Having that conviction.
Yeah. So I just want to share a little bit of what my posture is. My posture is like I'm the doctor,
Yeah.
right? And people, in this business, we talk a lot about one touch close or two touch closes. I like a two touch close myself. I'm way more confident on the second visit than I was in the first. And I'll tell you what, it doesn't have to do anything with my confidence itself. Because if I have to close somebody in the first visit, then that's what I have to do. But having a two touch close works a lot better. I'll tell you why. Number one, if I meet you today for the very first time and I say, hey, I know I came in unannounced, or I'm just meeting you for the first time, I'll just gather some quick information. It will take me about 5 to 10 minutes. Then tomorrow we'll spend about another 15 minutes going over the numbers.
Yeah.
You see how it sounds just like so inviting? It doesn't sound like I need to speak to you right now and we need to figure something. You might be in the middle cooking something. You might have soccer practice with the girls later.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I want to give you that space. I trust my skills, my posture enough that I want to give my prospect space enough to not feel like I'm a desperate sales guy with breath commission, breathing all over them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Commission breath, right? That we like to refer it as. So what I like to do is my posture is like, hey, I know you're busy. We can come back tomorrow type of thing. I just need some details so that I can share some good information with you tomorrow. Take about 15 minutes so we can go over the numbers. No, I'm not interested. I know you're not. That's why that's what I'm doing, so that you can have something to actually make a decision on. There's nothing to make a decision on right now. There's nothing to be interested in. I wouldn't expect you to be interested just like this. Like there's nothing to offer yet. That's why I'll come back tomorrow. Right. And so once I can get them to at least like, hey, dude, let's look at your bill. If I can make solar profitable for you, great. If not, we can still be friends, dude. Yeah. Hey, check it out. I do a lot of events. Check out what we did here. Check out what we did there. And now I just try to be their friend. I go on my Instagram, send them my digital business card. Like, hey, well, if you don't mind, I can just give you my digital business card, right? Boom, they get it. I exchange contact information. Dude, let me just get your bill and take a picture of the meter. It's like, we're homies now, dude. Like, I know you're probably not going to even get this, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Boom. That's touch number one, right? Like if you're at the doors. Touch number two, people are like, oh, if you're there, just close the deal. Okay. Number one, it's a fact that retention goes down because if you sell them today, I don't care how good you are, they still bought from a stranger.
Yeah.
And they got to wait 30, 45, 60 days before they actually get installed. And meanwhile, they've been thinking about like, dude, did I really just do business with the stranger?
Yeah.
And the cancellation rate goes up. I don't care how good you are at closing. Number two, another reason why the information that I gained today and I can actually prepare for the close for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And when I come back tomorrow, it's like, hey, what's up, Legacy? I'm back, dude. Like I said, it'll be quick, right? Now I'm no longer a stranger. Now I'm Caesar. You already met me. So the brain fails to recognize whether I met you yesterday or I've known you for years. When I walk in on that second time, I'm a recognizable face.
Yeah.
They trust me that much more. The trust goes way higher because I'm no longer a stranger. I'm a guy that set up an appointment with them and came back at the time I said I was. Yeah. So I already kept my commitment. I have posture. I'm confident in what I'm doing. And then when I show up, I'm like the doctor. I'm like, dude, I got great news. I got great news for you guys. And they're like, what, really? What? It looks like I can save you some money. And then I see their body language. And oftentimes it's like, dude, you see, dude, I knew we could trust this guy, man. He's here to save us some money, right? Or sometimes, you're going to have to work a little harder because after I drop that line, then they can go, well, we'll see, man. We're looking at different proposals. We're trying to see which is the best deal. We don't even know if we're going to do this yet. Yeah. So then that right there, right at the beginning, it tells me where they're at. Sometimes right at the beginning, I'm like, it's a done deal. I just got to get to closing. And now it's only a matter if I want to stay here 10 minutes, 30 minutes. It looks like they're cooking something good for dinner. Maybe I just act like I'm hungry and stick around and catch dinner here with them and talk to them about referrals. It's wherever I want to take it from there. Just on that first line, once I sit down and I literally do that like a doctor, like about to give the baby results, right? I'm about to share some exciting news with you guys. It looks like we can save you some money. And I just smile and look at them. And if I get that same sort of engagement, like it looks like aren't you guys excited with me? Like it looks like we can save you some money. It's a done deal. the moment I tell them that, to me in my head, we're already going through the process to get them to sign and get them to the finish line.
Mm-hmm.
Right from the beginning, I can tell if they're ready to go to the finish line.
And what you're saying about being a doctor is the prescription and all the information and the posture, tonality, all that. If a doctor is showing up and he's going to present you results, you're going to listen. And he's going to be elaborate on everything that you covered.
And using the right language, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, dude, based on our previous conversation, this is what I recommend.
Yeah.
That's my concept. Once I sit down with somebody after I tell them I have some great news, based on a prior conversation, based on looking at your AC, at your roof, at your bills, this is what I recommend we do today.
Yeah.
And when you start the conversation like that, dude, is game over.
Yeah. Yeah. And once you're there, and I'm a big fan of the 2-touch close myself as well. I mean, done, one touches, which it's cool, but you're absolutely right. Like the second time you're meeting with them, it's no longer a stranger.
Yeah.
This is the second time.
And people are like, dude, I just want to be more efficient. If why have 2 appointments when you can have 1 appointment and close the deal? And well, dude, chances are that person's not going to give you more referrals.
Right.
Because if you just close them at the door that one time, what kind of relationship are you really building with them? You're not. Don't fool yourself. You're wondering why you got to keep knocking doors and your clients. Where are your past clients at? People talk about how they have all these past clients. Where are all the referrals at?
Yeah.
Well, that's because you don't have a good relationship with them. More than likely, they're sending referrals to another solar guy now.
Yeah.
So,
and I know for yourself and myself as well, majority of my business is referrals.
Yeah.
Like at this point, you can't skip putting the upfront grind.
Yeah. But it's so nice to get someone that you sold solar 4 or 5 years ago saying, hey, my cousin wants solar. My uncle's talking about solar, it's, and you're not going to build that relationship just doing a bunch of 1-touch closes and not having that follow-up. So if you're going to want to have that follow-up anyway, what does it matter? And say it's funny too, because they're like, dude, and it's less time because I close them in the spot. Well, dude, if it's that, on the spot closes usually take 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I can in 15 minutes get your number, come back tomorrow, and then close you in 45 minutes. And it took me a total of 1 hour on 2 touches instead of 3 hours in 1 touch.
Yeah.
It's like when we're like, when clients say, oh man, I don't want 2 bills. Well, would you rather have 1 bill that's $200 or 1 bill that's $100 and another bill that's $35?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's 2 bills, but it's less money. Yeah, it's 2 meetings, but it's less time and it's more efficient and there's more referrals and there's less cancellation.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to knock anybody. And if you tell me someone's ready to buy today and it's their day off and all that good stuff and it's the right time to do a 1-touch close, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But if that's just your thing, I close every time on the spot, I guarantee you're not as successful as you could be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And once you're at that point, once you've set up your posture, once you're in a listening mindset, and you're listening to what's keeping them from moving forward, because you want to get that out of the way. And once you get that out of the way, that's the first part, because you're a consultant. If your client doesn't have the ability to solve objections of other people coming to them and presenting those objections, then they can't solve them. That's how you're going to get cancellations. You have to consult your client. You have to be able to bring up every possible objection, even if they don't bring it up. I know a lot of people that try to hide from them. It's like, oh, well, they only brought up these 2. I'm going to solve them. I'm going to get those out of the way. Okay, are you ready to move forward? And they might be like, you know what? Yeah, those were my only objections. I tell them, wait. Okay, I know these were your 2 objections, your reason why not moving forward. But I want to make sure I cover the most common concerns that the majority of my clients have.
That you're not thinking about right now.
You're not thinking about.
But in a week, you think about it and then you want to cancel until they figure it out. Oh, wait, I have this concern. Stop the project. Yeah. Let's talk about this first. I don't want a site survey. I don't want this. I don't want that. And now you're uphill battle.
Yeah. So not having all of the objections when you're there, you're not preparing your client to get installed. You're not setting them up for referrals. They have to be able to fully understand the process, fully understand what all those objections are, even if they only had 2. And that even brings the confidence level of them. They're like, oh, damn, he's bringing up more things that, yeah, you're right. I did have a concern about the credit. How does that work? Oh, yes, I didn't even think about selling my house. That's true. You know, and now you're sitting there and they're like, they keep agreeing with like, oh, good information. Oh, more to keep in. Then their uncle's going to be like, dude, no, bro, why'd you do that? You got to sell your house. Yeah, bro, but you don't know how that works. The problem is, you know, they didn't have the right realtor.
And picking your words at the end is so crucial. Bro, after you overcome all the objections and you've done all this, at the very end, the words you choose to transition into the close or into the opening, right? The opening, because it's a new relationship. So the way I transition into the opening is, you know, I use words like, by getting the ball rolling today, is going to get us to this next step, which technically from now to then, we're still in the analysis stage until we get a final design for you. So up to the point where we get a final design, that's when you really are now making the commitment to go solar. Today, we're just getting the ball rolling so that we can get you there, right? So then there feels like, okay, people just don't want to be, because everyone wants to do solar, but just not today. Come back tomorrow, dude. Let me talk about it with my wife. So when you roll it out like that, hey, let's get the ball rolling so that we can get to this stage. Then it's just like, okay, a little bit of like pressure is released. And then also saying that all we have to do is verify your credit, right? Or not even say credit, you verify financing, right?
Yeah.
Let's verify that and let's authorize the agreement.
Yeah.
Once you use words like that, instead of like, let's run your credit and see if you qualify, and then we can sign the contract.
Right.
That's like, shit. Yeah. Those words were triggered. Your homeowner's triggered to be like, hold on, have a lawyer look at it. Don't do this right now. Like you're going to regret it in the morning. All these crazy thoughts start going into their head, even though if the presentation was really solid and they really like it and it makes sense, the fact that you triggered those words in their mind, now that's like, dude, I don't know what it is. I'm just going to wait. What is it, man? Like, tell me, what do you wait? Ask me now that I'm here. I don't know. And all it is like a lot of times it's just they heard the word contract, they heard the word sign here, sign there. It's like, dude, I just need you to authorize this. You're going to get a DocuSign. All I need is to make sure that you're the owner of the home. We're going to do the site survey, make sure the roof's got the right integrity for the solar. And we also want to make sure that you can just verify your financing, and we should be good to go. Get the ball rolling. And 9 times out of the 10, when you covered all that and you had that posture at the end, it just seems seamless.
Yeah.
If you make it awkward and now it's like, okay, are we ready to
apply
for
forward, sir?
Are you ready to apply for credit? Is your credit score a 650 or higher?
Yeah.
It should be, but I don't know if I want to run it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I have a pretty similar approach. You know, I always just transition in. Like once I make sure I covered the 2 objections and then I go over the rest of them, my question is, so does this all make sense? Yeah. You like everything you heard? Everything's perfect? Yeah. So, okay, the process is simple. Yeah. First, we're going to make sure we're going to verify your credit, or we're going to verify income, however, but you're presenting it and you're pretty much showing them what's about to happen. You're not waiting like another document I have to sign. Okay, sir, I'm going to ask you for your social. I'm going to do this. We're going to sign the agreements with Titan. We're going to get, everything set up so we can put an order in, or we can set up for the site survey, because there's a lot more information that we need. Like this isn't guaranteeing that you're going to move forward with solar, but we have everything we need, and we need your permission to move forward on this project because it makes the most sense, right? Like you said, this all sounded perfect. You don't have any more concerns. So I'm going to get the ball rolling. If anything changes, please feel free to call me, but now at site survey, they let me know. They give me information. They tell me that the foundation of the roof is good. They tell me they don't need an MPU. That's all information I want to bring back to my client. If I call them with that information, I'm providing more value. Yeah. And now you give room for referrals, and you don't want to waste that. Like what is your sequence with your clients? Like, are you just going and winging it and seeing if you close a deal? Or do you have a process, like my prospecting process, my presentation process, my referrals process, and now I'm building a relationship with business? Like, you got to go 7 levels deep with everyone. There's multiple phases that you take. And with your clients, it should be crucial. It should be your standard, because that's where your money's coming in. That's your money making activity. So once you get it going, like I assume it through. I assume we're moving forward. I paint the picture. This is what's about to happen. And then I come back to the beginning. Okay, what's the last 4 of your social? And
I mean, it should be easy to assume that people want to save money.
mm-hmm.
It should be easy to assume that people want their home value to go up. It should be easy to assume that they want dependence and not be under a monopoly with the utility company, right? So it's not hard to assume these things, guys. Well, a lot of times people's like, oh, it's hard to just assume the deal.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you're assuming the deal. You're thinking about the commission. Mm-hmm. You're thinking about the sale.
Yeah.
Think about the benefits that they're going to get because of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's easy to assume that somebody wants those benefits.
Yeah.
But if your focus is somewhere else, thinking about
mm-hmm.
yourself and not the client, that's why it's hard.
Yeah. And it's really understanding the transition. So if you really understand the transition of the client, you look at the reason why they're not going to move forward is because they have a problem, concern, an issue, or they don't believe you. And really putting that in a category. And if you can solve all of that, you can get their concerns, solve every single possible or potential concern that they can have. And they're clear, consulted, educated on that, and they can actually consult someone else now, then it's easy to assume to move forward. It makes sense.
And it's easy to assume to move forward with us because we're the real solar. If you were going to get solar, aren't you going to get real solar?
Yeah.
Or are you going to get that fake solar out there that's being promoted? What's that fake solar out there that people are out there after just commission? That's all they're after. There's people that are unapologetic about it. They don't care about clients. They just care about the commission, right? So again, you should have that posture at the real solar that you're going to take care of them more than anybody else, right? And then bring them into your business, make them a solar advocate so that they can get referral fees from you and they can send you people and say, hey, I want to help you pay off your system soon.
Yeah.
What would an extra $500? What would an extra $1,000 per referral do for you?
Yeah.
How quickly would you want to pay this off?
Yeah.
Let's do a goal that we pay it off in 5 years. It's going to take X amount of clients.
Mm-hmm.
So dude, like, it's fun when you can really build that relationship with the client.
Yeah, 100%.
If not, it's miserable, right? Because it's just like you're swinging and missing. You're not making real relationships, real connections with the clients. You're not looking out for their interest for real.
Yeah.
You're looking out for your own interest, and that's why you can never get return business from them. That's why you probably lost a deal to somebody else.
Yeah.
Because you can't be out there half-assing it, man.
Yeah, no.
If you want to be a professional at this, you got to go above and beyond.
And knowing what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. So like we was saying about making it a goal for your clients to pay off their system. Like once everything is signed, my next question is, do you want to know how you'll never pay for electricity ever again? Like forget about this payment. How? I'm like, every referral pays you X amount. If we get these many referrals this year, you eliminated your electricity bill this year. Yeah. If we can get 6, 12, then I paint them a picture.
I can send you to Hawaii if you want to. How many cousins do you have?
We'll send the whole fam, but this is how many referrals we need. And now you engage your client in a business relationship. Like you're building, they're going to make money with you. They're building another stream of income. They're building their own business. Doesn't matter what they're doing. They know someone. Like you just have to know how to incentivize them. Like you're going back and instead of like, hey dude, when are you going to send me a referral? It's like, hey, when are we going to take you to Hawaii? You said you want to be in Hawaii in April, and we're almost there. Like we only need like 3 more. I know you want to take your fam to Hawaii. Like
let's get them this month. This month. Oh man, I think I already tapped out. I send you all my friends. Dude, you have people on Facebook, on social media. You just need 3 more, bro, and I can send you to the. You're 3 away from the trip. Yeah. And guess what? It looks like I'm going to be going around this time. So, dude, I would love for you and your family to come with us.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Now you can go say that to 4 or 5 10 referral clients that are working with you that are basically advocates, and you have a referral system within your client base. That's the best right there.
Yeah. If you feel afraid or weird, or you don't want to ask your client for referrals, that's because you didn't position yourself to. That's because you didn't add enough value to want to call them again and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, you got your Disney tickets. You said you wanted to go to Universal. Like, we're almost there. One more. Like, I got the tickets already. Let's just get one more, and I'll give them to you before it's even installed. Let's get them.
Especially my Hispanic market, bro. We'll do anything for a trip. I mean, the only time we would go anywhere when we were kids is when someone was dying, bro. So if you say I can win a vacation somewhere with my family, bro, I'll recommend you the whole neighborhood, the whole mechanic shop, the whole restaurant. Like, doesn't matter. Wherever I work, I'll introduce you to people because I want that trip. Yeah. If you get a Hispanic excited about a trip, bro, you can get leads all day from them, man. Like, it's fact. So, but you got to be creative. You can't just be lazy about it and never have anything to offer, never putting any promotional offers for your clients or prospects to get excited about. That's stuff that you got to be creative within yourself. And so, I mean, again, it becomes a business where if it's self-sustained with your current book of business, that's where you want to be at.
Well, there you guys have it. Presentation, having the right posture, having the right tonality, having the right information, making sure that you're consulting. You have to feel it in your core that you're helping this individual be in a better position. You have to believe that and make sure you're operating with that conviction. So, well, I'm Legacy.
And I'm Cesar Delgadillo.
And we keep it real.